What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about this story that went viral out of Detroit. There was a female bus driver who was caught having intimate relations with her boss. Now, this woman here, her name is Dayna. Her and her boss got caught because apparently they were hooking up at the workplace, and she drives buses, of course, and he is her supervisor, I believe. And they were delaying buses. These two was so horny that they were delaying buses. So people had to either sit and wait for them to do what they do, or they were late getting to stops, or she was late getting to stops. And they did an investigation. Apparently, there were people who knew about this that were impeding the situation. This is crazy. And one of the craziest things too is that this woman is married. Okay. She has a whole husband at home. And this isn't the first time that she has been known to people. I mean, there is a video of her on divorce court back in 2015. Yo, somebody put this clip on Facebook. Hell, I even seen this on Tubi as well. Back in 2015, her and her husband's brother, who was her witness, by the way, were all on divorce court. This is the type of craziness that's going on in this family. This is why she feels so comfortable doing what she is doing, because being on this show was probably her idea. And this, I'm telling you right now, women are some of the biggest cheaters out there. Just because women don't get caught does not mean they're not cheating. Women are very good at cheating. Nobody cheats better than a woman, especially a married woman. And the fact that they didn't think they'd get caught. See, that's the craziness about this. Her and her boss was so horny, not understanding that eventually somebody's going to catch you. But because, it's easier for her to cheat at the job, because then her husband wouldn't suspect anything. Well, the people at this particular transport service had enough of her and Andre Reese linking up. So let's get into the story. As a matter of fact, I'm going to play this news video for you. Make sure y'all like my video and hype it up.
Bus driver and her supervisor left a running city bus for a romantic rendezvous, leaving riders stuck and frustrated. This was just one of the issues uncovered in a new report from the Detroit Inspector General. The report says the two were caught being romantic during work hours multiple times, causing long delays. Noel Friel spoke with city leaders tonight. And Noel, this report claims management failed to investigate this properly.
Yeah, that's right, Kimberly. The Office of Inspector General found that supervisor and employee were having what it called romantic interactions both on the city bus and during working hours. But the even bigger problem, according to this report, is what happened after that relationship was discovered.
It started with an anonymous complaint back in June alleging that a senior transportation service inspector, Andre Reese, and bus driver Dayna Ruff engaged in indecent activity on a city bus. An investigation by the Office of Inspector General uncovered video footage from May 6th showing the two fondling each other on a bus.
Man, listen, if you're working at a bus, so you're being video recorded, and you're fondling each other, what in the horniness is going on here? That is insane. But what's really crazy is that they didn't put this man's identity out here. They put hers out there, but they didn't put his. He must be a lot more connected for them to not even put his face out there. They're putting hers out there, but not him. He's just as responsible. Would not be shocked if he has a wife at home. And he's throwing whatever position he has on, because he can't continue to be inspector if he's doing this.
It found Reese then reported an unsubstantiated mechanical issue with the bus, took the bus out of commission, and took Ruff to a fast food restaurant, disrupting service for 115 minutes. On May 20th, it says Reese and Ruff again met up multiple times during Ruff's route and at one point abandoned the bus while it was still running. That day, DDOT received a complaint via a customer assistance form about the abandoned bus, but Inspector General Kamal Marable says leadership didn't investigate it properly.
We found out that the supervisors who were responsible for dealing with this type of issue were very lenient in their response to it.
DDOT Superintendent Howard.
And that's because this stuff has probably been going on for a while, and he's probably not the only one. They take up for each other. They need to fire everybody. I know it's hard getting people to want to work, but you can't allow this to continue. This is embarrassing. So the people who are in charge either need to fire people or they're going to end up losing their position. This is crazy. But this is what happens when you have a spouse at home and you don't want to get caught cheating, so you cheat at work.
Bragg classified their actions as a Class 4 offense, which would normally be punishable by a 30-day suspension followed by termination. Instead, he gave them both 5-day suspensions. Marable says he never reviewed the video footage of the two inside the bus.
For some reason, this individual only chose to review the footage basically from outside of the bus, not the full interaction. So we found that very problematic.
The Office of the Inspector General.
That means that the person was trying to help the inspector for whatever reason. They were trying to keep them from getting in trouble, trying to keep the inspector especially from getting in trouble.
Is now recommending discipline for Bragg and the DDOT Assistant Director, additional consequences for Reese and Ruff, as well as policy reform and enhanced training for DDOT leadership.
The real victims in this were the citizens who were waiting on buses that did not come on time because you had individuals who did not take their job and their responsibility seriously.
And in a statement, Executive Director of Transit Robert Kramer said DDOT is already implementing some of those recommendations, saying in part, quote, "We will ensure that employee disciplinary actions align with the city's human resource standards and improve processes to prevent discipline not being applied appropriately in the future." DDOT will submit a response to the Office of Inspector General by January 20.
Well, they need to do something because this is crazy. People need to be fired. This is public transportation. This isn't a company that's owned by a citizen. This is a service that is ran by the state. This shouldn't be happening. She should be fired because I've seen people get fired for less. I've seen people get fired for less than what she did. There are people who needed to get somewhere. Maybe people need to get to the, to an appointment or get to work. This heifer's too busy out eating out, getting hunched over while she has a whole husband at home, whole family at home. She didn't care. That's probably how she got her job in the first place, was screwing this particular inspector. Just didn't have a care in the world. But this is how women don't get caught. Let me tell y'all something. The majority of these women are cheating at work, either with co-workers, their bosses, or somebody else. Because most of the time, a lot of men are not going to be worried about their wife or girlfriend cheating at work, especially considering the work. Now, she's a bus driver, so her husband is not going to think that she's cheating. She's a bus driver. But I'm telling you right now, she's probably cheating. Okay? That's what's going on. They have to make an example out of these people. They need to lose their jobs. You can't allow these people back because they're going to do it again. I'm telling you right now. Because If people were protecting and trying to keep them from being discovered, you don't think that's not, especially if you keep the same leadership intact, you think that, yeah, they'll stop briefly, but they'll continue it because that's what thirsty, horny people do. They don't care. Absolutely crazy. No slap on the wrist. You got to make an example that this never happens again. Because if you don't, it's going to happen again and you're going to get embarrassed again. People need to be able to take you seriously and really take your public service. Because people do pay to use the bus. The bus ain't free. From what I understand, taking the bus ain't free. People still got to pay to use the bus. They could take their services elsewhere. So let me know what you think in the comments section. Leave me thoughts, like this video and share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms, and I'll see y'all next one.